pretty windy. It's going to take me about 2 hours to walk down there, I'd say. Should have a good hour in the light. It's been a nice easy walk so far. It's really pretty. These old boots they're still going okay, and yeah, pretty shot behind me. It's going to get cold fast once the sun goes down, and we're just going to drop down the waterfall, unless it's really icy and slippery and scary, because it can be pretty steep and nasty even normally. Look at me, I'm puffing. I'm puffing away here, but no, it's good. I'm really enjoying it. It's super pretty. Really pretty. Look at that. Less talky, more walkie. The hut's just down there. It's not that far. This is where you start heading down the waterfall. It's not that steep at this point, but it gets much steeper. I really want you guys to see this because it's fully pretty. I'll try and get a couple of other shots before completely in the dark. Just in here somewhere, there's a track marked with a blue ribbon, and that takes you down through the bush and passes some really gorgeous waterfalls and stuff. I'm going to bring you guys back that way because it's really nice, and I've got about maybe 15 minutes of light left. We're into the last few rays of daylight. Yeah, it's pretty steep, pretty slippery. It's properly slippery. Basically we're down now, so pretty much just a walk to the hut. Okay, so we've got 15 minutes to go according to the sign. So as you can see, it's very dark now, nearly no light on me and only a little bit of light on the mountain. We're about 100 metres from the hut, so the next time you see me, it'll be a roasty toasty fire going and probably some steak on. As promised, sizzling steak, and there is a fire over there behind me, and so here we are at the Mangaturuturu hut. Cool, so a bit of steak and then bed. Here we are at the Mangaturuturu hut. It is the following morning. So I had that beautiful walk in. It's not as nice a day today. It's a bit overcast. It's going to be a little cooler and not quite so sunny and vibrant, but yeah, it should still be a good day. I don't think it's going to rain, and we're going to go and check out the waterfall, and then we're going to head up the valley and probably set camp up there somewhere. And I'm going to show you some of the sort of gorgeous waterfalls and things up there before we head on out on early Sunday morning. Well, here we are, all booted up and ready to go, and head up the valley and find ourselves a camping ground and hopefully show you guys some great scenic shots. So I've just walked about maybe a couple hundred meters. The hut's down here somewhere. I'm not on the track anymore. I've just come off to the side and walked through this sort of marshland. I'm going to ditch my pack, which is a big no-no. You should really stay with your gear, but I want to make it clear that I know this area really well. I'm probably only going to travel about 200 meters away from my gear and be gone for about maybe 40 minutes or something like that. Up behind me here, just in here, there's a little walkway, or not a walkway, it's like a bit of an open bit of bush, and it goes down through and it goes to a slip. And I've hunted in that area a couple of times. When I say hunted, I mean walked around aimlessly with my bow and arrow. But I have seen deer tracks, so I'm really curious to see if there's any recent sign up in there. Pretty sure this time of year they're mostly down the bottom of the hill because it's a bit warmer down there, and I think they like to sort of go into the paddocks and stuff and feed on grass. So why come up here and do it hard when you can go down the bottom and do it easy? I've seen 2 deer down on the cycle track. Yeah, so I think they tend to hang out down there. The season is changing, so they might be coming back up the hill. It really is interesting to see if we see any tracks or anything. I don't think we'll see any deer because the wind's been sort of circling and it's kind of pushing uphill. So I imagine my scent will be in front of me. But yeah, be interesting to see if we find some tracks. So here's the slip that I mentioned. We're going to climb up here. So we're nearly at the top now. I'm just going to talk quietly just in case there are some deer up in there. Any hunter that's watching this now is just laughing at me, laughing. But we'll go and have a little look. I don't think the wind's pushing up in there that much, so we might get lucky. So, as suspected, very little sign up here. All the sign I saw, like the droppings, are just prehistoric. You can see where there's been hoof prints in the past, but nothing fresh. So, yep, all you hunters can continue to laugh. But yeah, nothing up here. I don't know if you can see this, but there's some droppings in here. I'll pick one up and show you. Little clump. And that's about the freshest sign I've seen. I don't know how old that is. Could be days old, could be months old. If you are an expert hunter and you can tell me how old that is, post something in the comments. Preferably not something mean and rude, but and let me know how old you think that is. Yeah, it still looks somewhat fresh. I said that I was only going to go about 200 meters from my pack, and I don't know if you can see that, but 208 meters. So good to go. And if I was like, for some reason, suddenly went senile and couldn't find my way back, I could follow this back to where my pack was, but I don't need it. What I should have done is put my EPIRB in my pocket though, because you never know. Being old, really unfit, quite fat. I don't know, I mean, you know, there's possibility of heart attack, and pretty silly to not put my EPIRB in my pocket. But anyway, do as I say, don't do as I do. I thought for a split second I might have a bit of trouble finding this little valley, but yeah, no, it was super easy. It's really pretty, and there's like lots of really nice little kind of waterfalls and cascading water and stuff. It's pretty nice. So to help you find your way, as you make your way up and you've found the sort of rocky area where the river's coming down, there's a whole bunch of these like rock cairns if you keep your eyes open, and they take you not only up over this sort of area, but they also lead the way to the Blue Ribbon Trail, if I recall correctly. So yeah, we're going to follow these along, and we'll see if we can find it. We're going to check it out today, so it doesn't become a bit of a debacle in the morning, because I want to get up early, pack up quickly, and then quickly leave, which probably won't happen because I don't do any of those things. Here we are, some more waterfalls! Woo! So I've decided to have lunch here, and then I'm actually going to trek up through the bush today, and I'm going to camp up in there, because it's not that nice in there, but it'll be a bit more sheltered than here, and I think this is a bit prettier to stop and have some lunch. It's about 3:30 and I haven't really had a proper feed, so I should do that, because otherwise I'll get grumpy, and nobody wants a grumpy Campbell. So yeah, that's the plan. Eat here and then crash on up through the bush and make camp near the top. Hey, I'm gonna have some lunch, and in this really pretty spot that you've probably just seen lots of clips of and stuff, all the little waterfalls and that, and I'm not going to sleep here. I'm going to go up through the bush line and stuff. It'll be a bit more sheltered. Probably already said that to you. Anyway, so yeah, I'm using my cooker that I made. It's made out of titanium pots, and I made it as a alcohol stove, but ironically it works, well, it does work really well as an alcohol stove, but it also works really well as a wood burning stove. I tried for years to make a good wood burning stove, and they're all complete flops really. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have a backcountry meal, chicken tikka masala, yeah, backcountry. And tonight I'm having another backcountry, which is, can't remember what it's called, Mexican chicken, but it's basically chicken nachos, real yum. And I might have an apple pie for dessert, and then tomorrow morning noodles and then boost, and I'm out of here. Maybe get a coffee in Owakuni and try and get back to Auckland for in time for church at 6 o'clock. Yep. Ding dong, the bells are gonna chime, get me to the church on time. So I've got my wood burning stove filled up. Just takes like a little handful of twigs and what have you, and then when it's going a bit better, chuck a few like bigger things on, but you're basically looking at maybe a fistful of twigs and sort of smaller sticks to cook a meal, so you're not chopping down the whole forest, which is quite nice. And the fire's totally contained in this firebox. Obviously still want to put it somewhere sensible, that's why we're down here. Just little rocks and yeah, sand basically underneath it, so nothing to catch fire here. Also too, everything's really damp, so very, 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 very safe. It does not seem to be working. I think it's gone out. Well, I got it going. I have to say I was a bit worried there for a second. It didn't seem to want to go, but it's going now. I don't know if it's going very well, but yeah, probably the fuel that I'm using is not very good. Maybe it's not dry enough. Might need a bit more kindling. Anyway, hopefully this will work and do the trick, because it doesn't take much wood to get a boil. So I do like this cooker, but one of the things that's not so good about it is how grubby it is. Definitely the jet boil is way cleaner, way easier. But if you were doing a long hike and didn't want to carry lots of fuel, it could be a good way to go. Also too, it doesn't really make any noise, so you get that really nice, quiet kind of thing. And it's sort of like having a fire when you're not allowed to fire, so that's quite nice from that point of view. Although I've got to feed some more wood into it now, because otherwise it's going to go out. Okay, so meal's done. Used most of the water, or a good chunk of the water. to put in my backcountry meal. It only need 400 mils. I think roughly I put 400 mils in. It was a bit slapdash. And then the rest I just chucked a tea bag in and just letting it simmer over in the coals, what's left in the bottom there. So hopefully, yeah, it'll make a nice hot cup of tea. And we'll just leave it for 10 minutes because we just need the backcountry meal needs to rehydrate to be kind of really nice, and stays quite hot in its foil container. Another thing you can do is you can put a cozy over it, or you can put a beanie over it, which is what I'm going to do. Cheers. Cup of tea. Chicken tikka masala, quite tasty. Beautiful scenery, what more could you ask for? Probably a slightly better frame shot, you could probably ask for that. But you can't have it, so tough. You want a better frame shot, you come out and you film it. So I have packed up and I've had a good feed and something to drink, and I think it's taken me about 50 minutes maybe less to get to where I'm going to camp. It's about 5:40, so yeah, should get there in a reasonable amount of time, set up camp, and we'll be good to go for the night. So just here's the last little man-made cairn before we hit the bush line, and the blue ribbons are stuff in there somewhere. I can see it. So here we are to the entrance to the track that goes uphill. You can see the little blue ribbon just behind me. We actually met the guy that laid this out once, and he showed us where it was, so that was kind of cool. One of the really good things about this particular route, I've probably already said it, probably going to say it, so I'm going to say it again, is that instead of in these conditions having to like go up this really dicey slippery section of the waterfall where you're kind of on hands and feet, like kind of climbing, like looking for like kind of steps that are not slippery and it's all kind of icy and what have you, you just walk up through the bush and it takes you most of the way up, and you kind of avoid that, which is really cool. I think that's why the guy kind of blazed this trail, as it were, just as a kind of a safety thing. And it looks like lots of people are using it now because there's heaps of cairns, more ribbons and markers, and I mean, you can see how open the track is behind us, so it gets used a bit. Whew, it's going to be a bit of a climb though. I'll see you at the top. So not only is there the odd blue ribbon, there are now pink ribbons and blue ribbons, and probably behind me, I think you can even see like a yellow marker. So yeah, it's fully blazed in here now. You wouldn't get lost in here. Steep. She's pretty steep, boy. So there's a bit of an open bit here, and it's got snow in it. It's quite freaky. Feels really damp in here too. Yeah, it's gonna be a test of my bag tonight. Should be pretty cold. I'm gonna be on the tree line, but only just. So elevation's gonna be pretty high. Definitely could be really cold tonight. It's been a bit overcast, so that'll probably keep a bit of the day's heat in, but yeah, it should be proper cold. And a bit damp. So yeah, look, serious faces. My wife would say, oh, look, serious face. But should be good, that's the point. go and take it somewhere hard and test it, and yeah, see how it goes. Check this out. So that track, it used to just come out of the side of the kind of the bush and and dump you onto the waterfall, but it brings you all the way out onto the top now. So I don't know whether that's just been done so you can like check out this crazy gorgeous view. I saw a good spot in there, like maybe, I don't know, like 30 meters back or something. Tiny little flat spot on the track, and probably shouldn't camp on the track, but I don't think I'm going to inconvenience anyone. It's not like someone's going to come down and I'm going to be in their way or anything. I doubt anyone's going to come through here now. Yeah. How's that serenity? Yep, she's pretty beauty, mate. Oh, Bonza, bloody beauty. I am so close to the van now, like it's probably a 50-minute walk. By the way, there was only like about 20 minutes to get to the top of here. It wasn't nearly as long as I remember. Anyway, like the van is kind of like, it's just over there. I could boost out of here, but in the spirit of adventure, I don't think that's the way to go. So we're definitely going to crash here for the night. Slight change of plan though. I'm not going to bother cooking any dinner. I'm pretty full from that one that I had earlier, which wasn't really lunch. Like that was like 5:30 or something. So I might have a 1 square meal. Make sure I just got heaps of sugar and energy in me before I go to bed, so I don't get cold. That's important. And in the morning, I think I've got just enough methylated spirits that I might just come out to the spot here if it's not hideous, and make myself a 2-minute noodle and eat that, and then boost. But cool, man. I think I'm in for a cold night. Hey peeps, so I've got my fly set up. This is my Cedar Summit one. It weighs a couple 100 grams, and it's really good for these sort of situations where you're in a really tiny little spot. Yeah, I don't think I could have pitched my other one in here actually. I didn't even think about using it, to be honest. I just thought this would be, I like this fly quite a lot. I've got it pitched really in a steep A-frame so that the sides are almost to the ground, so there's minimal airflow coming in. Well, when I say minimal, you don't want to like stop the airflow, because if you've got no airflow through your fly, that's when you start to build up lots of condensation and you get dripped on and stuff. So you want to avoid that. There's a bit of a knack to it, which I don't necessarily think that I have. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm reasonably good at pitching flies in a tight spot. I've tried pitching all sorts of other types of arrangements, like with my flies, and to be honest, like I haven't had much luck. Like there's usually a debacle. Typically, I just like to stay with the A-frame. It's easy, and I think it works really well. So yeah, probably the next time I see you guys will be in the morning, unless it's some kind of disaster in the middle of the night. See you then. Probably over hot cup of noodles, hopefully. Cheers. Hey, so it's about 2:30 in the morning. It's weather's good. It hasn't been windy or anything like that. I mean, it's quite cold, but been reasonably warm. There's a little bit of condensation build up in the sole bivvy. It's one of the issues you have with bivvy bags is they build up a bit of condensation. It's not too surprising. I thought I would take this opportunity to swap from my cocoon, One Planet Cocoon -8 sleeping bag, over to my old Travelite 560 by Mountain Designs. That should give me some idea about how good this cocoon is. It's not super cold, so neither of the bags are probably working at their limit, but it might give me some idea. Morning everybody. So got through the night all right. Conditions were pretty reasonable, didn't get windy or anything like that, or rainy. No condensation on the fly, so that's good. Right, so we're going to pack up and we're just going to get out of here. I'll show you my campsite before I break it down though. So here's my campsite where I stayed last night. We're just on the track. Tiny little spot. That's all you need if you've got a tiny little fly like this. I think I would have struggled to pitch my big fly. Yeah, I'm glad I've got this little Cedar Summit tarp. It's pretty handy and pretty nicely made. So time to take this down and get out of here. So we're all packed up. It's nearly 9:15, so it took me slightly over an hour to pack up. Just pretty good going for me. First river crossing on the way back. Just going to jump across using that stone there. That's the plan. Here we go, second river crossing, or the main last one, and then we're going to go up there following the poles. Oh, there's one there. Right up. So a bit of a steep climb out of this bit. Well, hopefully that's a good shot. It's very glary, I can hardly see. I've done that horrible climb. It's pretty easy going from here out, I'd say. And I thought I'd give you one last shot of these gorgeous snowy mountains. So here we are back at the van. That took longer than it should have. It took me about an hour and a half to walk out of there. I was going pretty slow though. It's all uphill and I'm not super fit. Now, I remember turning my lights on when I came up the hill, and I don't remember turning them off. So this could be interesting. Let's see if this goes. Yes is the answer. It just needs some gas. Alright guys, if you followed me through the video this far, thanks very much. And yeah, I'll catch you next time.